So hopefully you can hear this. We'll hopefully update it here in a little bit, just in case you can't. We did want to come to you because we know that it's been a crazy couple days. We know that with our economy, in doing some very interesting things with our canceling, not us, but our president canceling travel to Europe, with sports closing, with universities beginning to close, and even certain things in Douglas County starting to question what it looks like to gather together. That we know there's a lot of questions. We know that COVID-19, that Corona is here and physically in Douglas County and in Colorado, but even in the United States. And some of the questions that we're dealing with is, what do we do? How do we as a church, how do we as a church body deal with this? And how do we address this as a church? And so our eldership met this morning. We gathered together. And I really hope you guys are hearing this, and I'm not just talking silently again. But our eldership gathered together this morning. We prayed about this. We jumped together and we read some scriptures. We read Psalm 91. Psalm 91 has some really good insight to this. It says, starting in verse 1, that he who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will abide in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say to the Lord, my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust. For he will deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with his pinions, and under his wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness is a shield and buckler. You will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in darkness, nor the destruction that wastes at noonday. Right, and this passage is written by King David when he is in the middle of one of the most trying times of his life. And he's not entirely sure what to do, and he feels like he's being surrounded by the enemy. But even when he's surrounded by the enemy, even when there's things to be afraid of in this world, when there's legitimate fears, when there are things to be scared about, and there's always something to be afraid of. We can always find a point of fear. But even in the midst of those moments of fear, there is a place where we can take refuge. There's a person who is our fortress. It talks about coming up under God and under the shelter of the Most High. And so I just, at the beginning, I just want to encourage you, right? Our fears may be here, but our hope is not. Our hope isn't in health. Our hope isn't in security. Our hope and our security is in Jesus. It's not that we are citizens of this world. We are citizens of the next place. We are citizens of the kingdom of God. And with that, we can never place our hopes in the systems that man creates. And so when those systems begin to fall apart or shut down and we get scared, we have to remember that we take our shelter and our refuge under the wing of the Most High. So with that, though, we do want you to know that as a church and as an organization, this is not an issue we're taking lightly. We know many of you out there are scared. We know that there are precautions that should be taken. And we want you to know that we are taking precautions to help us, right? To help ensure that our physical safety, even though our hope isn't in that, we do want to make sure that we have policies and procedures in place to protect us. We've had several phone calls today asking about what we're doing, if we're canceling services, what our policies are in case an outbreak really does intensify here in the area that we live. And so we just wanted to go over our policies that we've discussed and we've landed on, just so you know what's going to be happening here at church. The first thing you need to know about is that after every Sunday morning service, after every midweek service, if our children's ministry areas are used, all of those toys in classrooms are sanitized with the correct sanitation wipes and materials that ensure to wipe out any germs that could potentially cause or help to lend to a breakout. On top of that, we're also sanitizing all of our surfaces that you would come in contact with, including our tables, including our check-in stations, including our doors, and our bathrooms, just to ensure that we're continually sanitizing and keeping those areas clean. Some of the not so common things that we're going to begin doing that may feel a little bit different for you is on Sunday morning, we're going to ask our staff and our ushers and greeters not to make any physical contact. I know we're used to shaking hands or hugs, and we're just going to ask for the time being that we don't greet people with physical contact. Some of you may be thinking that I'm planning this on purpose because I don't like people touching me or getting close to me, but we will resume shaking hands when we feel it's safe to do that. The other thing that our ushers and greeters help us do is they pass out our bulletins every week. And to eliminate kind of the passing of things from one person to another, we're going to start placing our bulletins in the chair. So when you walk into our worship center, the bulletins will be waiting for you in your seat. The other big change that is happening in our worship service is our giving. We're used to passing our offering bags during our offering time, and for the time being, we are not going to actually pass those bags. There's still a few different options for you to continue to give during worship. If you are used to physically giving and used to putting something in the bag, we do have a box at the back of our worship center that you see it as you leave. At any point during our worship time, even before or after our services, if you are physically, if you're called to physically give, then we ask at any time in there, you can get up, walk to the back, drop your tithes or offerings in that basket or in that box. The other thing that we want to make you aware of is, again, in January, we made a transition to our online giving platform. It's a new platform, and with that, you can give through our website at lighthouseparker.com. You can give through our app that you can download that app. It's called Church Center in the Google Play or Apple App Store. And you can give through that. Or you can text to give. It's a very simple process. You take out your phone, you open your text messages, and instead of a phone number, you type the number 84321. It's a short code. And you type the amount that you want to give, and you text it to that number. You're going to get a response back, and it'll give you an opportunity to set up giving through texting. We know that this may be different for you. We may know that this may be uncomfortable, but we also want you to lean in and continue. We've been in this series where we've talked about the importance of giving and what that does to connect us to the Father's heart, and also what that does to help us overcome our fear and to trust in God more. And I can't think of a better time to overcome fear. So as we continue, we'll continue to let you know about those different updates. The last thing, or one of the last things I want to point out, is that to continue to update you and give you the best alerts at the most appropriate times. If you want to know the latest news or the news as soon as we can get it out to you, I would highly encourage you to subscribe to our text plan. If you send the word Lighthouse to the number 833-641-0175, you just text the word Lighthouse, you send it to that number. It's going to subscribe you to a text list. And in that list, we'll be able to communicate with you as quick as any other opportunity. It is our fastest form of communication, faster than Facebook, faster than our website. We can quickly text information out. If you saw the text that, hey, sorry, we messed up the first live stream, which is why we're doing it again, you know that. It's a quick messaging format. And so to stay up to date, we ask you to go ahead and subscribe to that. Again, that's text the word Lighthouse, all one word, to 833-641-0175. The last thing we want to let you know is that obviously we're trying some new technology out. We did a live stream, it didn't work, but we are in 24 hours. Chad and I have worked furiously today to get a live stream service up and running for our church and for our people. And part of that is to ensure that if something happens and Douglas County does ask churches to stop meeting on Sundays, or we feel the need not to congregate, that doesn't mean we're going to stop meeting. That may look different. It may change some, but it doesn't change the fact that we will continue to meet. And we will continue to do that through a live stream format. We're going to try. We will have this on Facebook. We're also going to try to ensure that we have that on YouTube as well. It is our last resort, but it also is an opportunity for us to use technology to not give up meeting and not being a community, because it's important. And we believe that it's important, especially in moments of crisis, that we come together as a church body. So if you be patient with us as we're trying to figure out this new technology, we would really appreciate it. We think it can do some really cool things even for the future of Lighthouse. We want to thank you so much just for your heart and to lean in a big and scary time. I know that our vision for our church is big. We've just announced that we're going to 3 services, and the details of that are supposed to begin March 29th. With that, and with the coronavirus hitting so hard in the United States right now, we're not quite sure what that's going to look like. Our plan as of right now is to continue with transition into 3 services on the 29th. If we need to postpone that transition to 3 services, we will. We will also let you know that. But this is the exciting part. We know that even if we have to push that back, that's just a pushback. God's doing big things. We're excited about the big things, and we're excited about where he's taking us. So I thank you for tuning in. Hope you have a blessed day. If you do me a favor, and just after you see this video, if you would just share it on your timeline so other people in our church can see and know about our policies and procedures as well. Hope you have a blessed day, and we hope to see you Sunday.